Hi there, I'm Monica Lindstrom, legal analyst and news commentator, and this morning I sat in the courtroom for the State versus Marissa Devault case. This is a death penalty case here in Maricopa County where Marissa Devault is alleged to have killed her husband essentially in cold blood. And like I said, it is a death penalty case, so the Maricopa County Attorney's Office is in fact asking for the death penalty. Now this morning, 16 jurors sat down, 8 men, 8 women. I'd say there's probably about 3 that are 35 or under, the rest are older, and it looks to be around 3 are minorities. So it's a very even jury, so to speak. The state started out with their opening statement. It didn't take very long. It seemed maybe 25 minutes, but they really focused on the motive for the murder, which they claim is money. Marissa Devault wanted to off her husband, and the main motive is money. See, she had met this other man. His last name is Flores, and she had borrowed over almost 300 grand from him. And so the state kept hounding on the fact that she had life insurance policies out on her husband, so that is why she killed him, so she could use the money to then pay back Flores for the money that she borrowed from him. The state did a very good job being very organized, very logical, using essentially a timeline of what happened in the year leading up to her husband's death. Now, in this case, the state is alleging that Marissa Devault, while her husband was sleeping, took a hammer and hit him in the side of the head or in the back of the head. They didn't show pictures yet or describe where exactly she hit him, but that she hit him in the head. Now, as soon as she did that, she did call 911 and he was taken to the hospital. He didn't die right away. He had surgery and then he was in the ICU for a little while, but then he did end up passing away and she was charged with his death. Now, the defense came out. The argument was okay, or I should say not argument, but the opening statement was just okay. It didn't really follow a pattern. It didn't seem very logical. It was just pointing out to the jury that they are in fact the finders of fact and that lawyers, when they talk, that's not evidence. And he asked them to go ahead and keep an open mind. He referred to some jury instructions, but he did point out 3 things, and I wrote them down to make sure I get them right for you. He said this case was not about money, which is what the state wants you to believe. He said that it is, that he actually said there's a secret to the case, and he was going to give us the secret. He said, first, Marissa called 911 right away. Why would she do that if he really wanted him to die? Because when the officers showed up, he was still alive. So why would she call 911 to do that? And also, when you hear the 911 tapes, she was hysterical. So if she really planned and intended to murder him, would she be hysterical? Number 2, the defense pointed out that he was taken to the hospital, so he didn't die right away, and that his condition was improving over time. So there was no intent to kill him because she didn't kill him right away. He died as a result of the injuries that she allegedly inflicted upon him. And number 3, he pointed out, when the officers arrived and they saw Marissa Devault and then Stan Cook, who also lived in the house, it was Stan Cook who had a gun in his pocket and there were other guns in their house. So if she really wanted to kill her husband and she intended it and planned on it and premeditated it, then why wouldn't she just use a gun? Why would she use a hammer that was so messy and just awful? So those were the 3 points that the defense really pointed out. That argument didn't take long at all, or should say the opening statement. It only took about 15 minutes, I think. So that wrapped up the opening statements. They were interesting. Weren't the best opening statements I'd ever heard, but they did give the jury something to think about. This is a very interesting case because of the witnesses involved, the fact that one witness was given immunity from any charges such as obstruction of justice or an accessory after the fact or child pornography charges. So that will be very interesting. You have another witness who has some mental issues or some memory issues, and oh yes, wait for it, they said that she suffers from PTSD. Where have we heard that before? So I will continue to keep you updated on the State versus Marissa Devault case. You can follow me on Twitter at at Monica Lindstrom, or you can follow me on my website, monicalindstrom.com. I'll also be talking about it a lot with Mac and Gatos on KTAR, that's 92.3, and also on my radio show Sunday nights with Joe Huizenga. It's called The Agenda. It's on KTAR.com, 92.3 FM, or you can also get the app. So stay tuned, and I will keep you up to date on what's going on.